Hi there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, and wellness advocate, and today's topic is a good one. I've been wanting to talk about this for some time because it is extremely important, and we have to come to an understanding that FDA approved drugs does not mean they are safe nor effective. So I have been down a frightening road with the pharmaceutical industry and the conventional medicine for over 10 years. And even before that, I had experienced for myself some very unpleasant, toxic withdrawals from various drugs. Effexor was one of them, benzodiazepines, Cymbalta, gabapentin. The list is quite long. And so at this stage in my life, I have come to terms with some facts. And so you may be a believer in medicine, perhaps it works for you. Some people who have good experiences with various traditional medications usually can't wrap their brain around the fact that there's millions of people who have experienced horrific outcomes, toxic reactions, suicidal ideation, negative symptoms, and sometimes long-term consequences, including brain damage and organ damage from countless prescriptions. And so if you are one of those people who you just have been doing quite well with medications, consider yourself a fortunate person, but understand that just because you yourself have a good experience doesn't mean anyone else will. We are all so unique. We're made totally different. Our sensitivities, our medical histories, our bodies, our chemistry, and various medications could impact us quite differently than other people. So every one of us, if we would all take the same exact drug at the same exact dose and just say we'd have this little test we'd do for 1 month, we'd give ourselves 1 month where everybody would take the exact drug, the exact dose, you could guarantee if there was 100 of us doing this, 100 of us would have a different experience. So we have to come to terms and appreciation that no two people are alike and that we may have a different story, that each of us has sometimes experiences that are good and other times quite frightening with pharmaceutical medications. Now, some people just can't grasp on my one video, Flying High with Gabapentin. Holy cow, it's my #1 video, thousands upon thousands of views and comments. I'm having a hard time keeping up, people, but keep in mind, I don't make not 1 cent on YouTube. So understand that I could do the best I can to get to your comments, but more and more people say all the time, well, I didn't fly high with gabapentin. Well, I didn't have a negative experience with gabapentin. And then I get other people, I mean, just loads and loads of people saying, wow, I had a similar experience. I had someone last week, I mean, it just broke my heart. Someone shared that his wife killed herself, commits suicide from gabapentin, which is known as Neurontin, and he is devastated. And so I really do have a heart for these people who are experiencing some negative side effects and sometimes dire consequences that are fatal from big pharma. And so we have to understand that each of us, we will have a different outcome. Not all of us have a horrible time and not all of us have a positive experience. We have to appreciate it, but the real truth of the matter is that the FDA can approve whatever they want, but that doesn't mean it's safe. That doesn't mean it's effective. That doesn't mean it's without potential side effects, adverse reactions, and fatalities. So please keep in mind that whatever you agree to place into your body, prescriptions or over the counter, what have you, understand that just because it's FDA approved, that doesn't guarantee anything. You are taking a risk by choosing pharmaceuticals, and that is my own personal experience based on my own hellish ordeal with countless drugs. And it has been an eye-opener that FDA medications are not necessarily the way to go. Let's understand. Here's some interesting information. Medications approved by the United States Food Drug Administration result in over 100,000 deaths every year. 100,000 deaths every year. You got that? So don't tell me drugs don't come with a little toxic reaction, with a little mishap along the way. Hey, that's why our doctors have malpractice insurance. They need it. And this is even worse. Worse news, people. Over 2 million Americans suffer non-deadly adverse reactions to drugs every year that the FDA has approved safe. So you can understand that the FDA meaning of safe is not exactly the same as your meaning and my meaning of the word safe, gentle, or even healthy. Let's also understand the FDA is officially sworn to protect health by assuring the safety and security of America's food supply, products, medicine, and medical devices to make them safer, to make them more effective and affordable, and to provide the public with information about food and medicine that they may need to improve their health. Interesting. And yet, despite numerous FDA regulations and claims for being safe, death from adverse drug reactions is still one of the leading causes of death in the U.S., killing at least 106,000 people yearly. Not good, as far as I'm concerned, and I believe higher standards are really necessary. The FDA is sleeping in the same bed with the pharmaceutical industry. Wake up, people! It's more beneficial and profitable for big pharma to have more unhealthy people walking this planet, because that just kind of fills their pockets and it keeps drug sales increasing. Big pharma is for profit. Big pharma is big business. I don't call it healthcare. It's sick care. Onward, let's talk about something else. According to Dr. Joseph Mercola from Mercola.com, quote unquote, even the FDA's own scientists have cast a doubt on the agency's credibility. And it's not just David Graham, the FDA scientist who exposed the dangers of prescription drugs like Vioxx. A 2002 survey revealed that more than hundreds of FDA scientists lacked confidence in the agency's ability to adequately monitor the safety of prescription drugs once they're on the market. Others question the FDA's drug assessment and labeling process. Well, I could just say from my own experience that doctors don't always monitor their patients, especially when they decide to just abruptly stop a medication like they did with me 7.5 years ago with Ativan. Yeah, and just 4 short days, they decided to just abruptly stop Ativan and send me into hell on earth, where my life spiraled out of control. I experienced horrific drug withdrawals worse than heroin and cocaine, and I wanted to die. It was pathetic and it was negligence. And all I could say is it has woken me up. It has alarmed me. It has led me to speak and to write and to share about the truth going on in the pharmaceutical industry, hospitals, and in healthcare in general, that we are living in wicked times where the world wants society hooked on meds, because when they have people indefinitely taking pharmaceuticals, you're in a vicious cycle. And then your body becomes physically dependent without you even knowing it. And then when they decide to just up and stop your medicine, like they're doing with opioids right now, sending the opioid patients into a very serious situation in which it is not safe, it is unhealthy, and they are at their wits' end and don't know what to do. So I personally believe it is despicable what is happening in the opioid industry. I have friends who are suffering right now. They are in severe pain, going through wicked withdrawals, and yet their doctors don't care. They don't care. You see, they're so fearful. These doctors are so fearful of losing their medical malpractice license that they just kind of quit on their patient. They just kind of decide to just kind of take patients cold turkey, fast and furious, and they put them in harm's way. And it is a really rough lesson in life to realize that you don't have a doctor on your side. They don't got your back. And if they do got your back today, thank your lucky stars. Say a prayer of gratitude, because the average person today is just dismissed and forgotten, because that is how it is. You know, we're in a world right now where medicine is killing and destroying lives every day, and people are at their wits' end, not knowing what to do. And most people, we don't want to be stuck on medicine. We don't want to go through horrific withdrawals and negative symptoms and have our body and our mind spinning out of control. That is not the goal in life. And yet many of us find ourselves in this really dark valley where we don't know what to do and the doctor's not helping us. And then we start thinking about, well, is this drug even safe? And then we find out, regardless that the FDA makes claims of it being safe, it's not safe and it's not effective. And then on top of it, when they add the abrupt discontinuation of the prescription, it could really place us in a very dangerous position, a vulnerable position, in which we could lose our lives. We need to take it serious. Please don't be in denial today. Please wake up and learn the truth, educate yourself, research, and if you take medications, please read the prescription, check out credible websites, not just medical and conventional, but look into holistic facts. Consider checking out holistic doctors, and understand that as a patient, you have a right and you don't have to take medicine. If you choose to stop, if you choose to taper, if you choose to say no more, then the industry needs to honor you as a patient, because you have a right and you need to stand tall and in confidence and firmly be true to yourself, that if you don't want to live on drugs forever, that you could change the chapter of your story. It doesn't have to keep going on like this. And you can gradually take back control of your body and mind. Let's move on and talk about Dr. Mercola. So Dr. Mercola says here, very interesting, if natural medicine is suppressed, which it is because Big Pharma doesn't want the anything to do with essential oils, CBD, homeopathic medicine, natural alternatives, vitamins, supplements, herbs, you name it. There's so much out there, people. Keep your eyes open. It's awesome. And we need to really push forth and not let the FDA suppress us. But Dr. Mercola says if natural medicine is suppressed, it means that you no longer have the choice to pick safe alternatives to improve your health, and will have to rely on the wonderful drugs that Big Pharma is cooking up for you. Ooh, it's a recipe for disaster. The FDA has put health freedom in danger and is seeking to eliminate natural health alternatives through a campaign of censorship, distortion, and lies. Aspirin is approved by the FDA, yet aspirin has killed 25,000 people. Oh my goodness, and that's only per year. Per year, people. 25,000 people per year, and this is just aspirin, which is not extremely potent as like a opioid. So the fact is aspirin is approved, but it's not safe. Prozac is approved, not safe. Opioids are approved, not exactly safe. Benzos are approved, they're a disaster, a medical nightmare. So we have to understand that FDA approval means nothing. It means nothing. And instead today, consider some other safer options. God bless.